well, this was obviously a really good game, so just keep that in mind. But it also pays to look critically at things and look at the mistakes we made, and see where we can get better. So let's talk about the first couple minutes of this game. So they're kicking off, and um, if we watch to see what happens, so they're kicking off. Our left wing here is going to go press their right back. We're going to go press down the right wing or the left wing. But when Cabell makes that run forward, um, we aren't in a position to shut down this player. We've given him a really easy pass to get out. And that's what happens to start is they pass into that space. Our left back was too far back, and when we pressed forward, the line didn't move up. And even though the ball was on the left side, we didn't shade over to the left. We stayed central and we stayed back. So there's no reason for us to do that. We just gave them space when Cabell. We want Cabell to go up and press. We want our left wing to go up and press the ball, but we just left space for them to play in. We weren't aware. It's a moment of transition, the start of the game. We're going from not playing to playing, and we were a little bit slow in recognizing what was happening. So they come here, they try to find their striker, and we get the ball out. And then I'm not sure where we were trying to go with this pass, but it doesn't. It sort of goes neither of those places. I don't know if we're trying to play into space for Oliver, but he wasn't making the run. A wide ball would have found him, but instead we just sort of kick it up the field, and it goes to them, and then they find their striker. We're playing off them. Mateo is dropped into sort of like a sweeper position here. I'm not really sure why, but we're really narrow, but we're also back. We're off the midline by, what is that? 25, 30, 35 feet, something like that. And they find him. Now, and he was a good player, so, kudos to him. What happens now is Jackson is very upright. So we're not, fast, low, side, low. Very, very vertical and really close to the player. And when you're vertical and standing right in front of the player, you're very, very easy to beat. And so he does beat Jackson. Jackson is the left wing here, or the left back, I mean. So our center back maybe should be here, but Mateo is playing back, and Mateo was standing in for Braden, who was sick. But look how narrow we are here, um, and and our center back isn't defending the center of the pitch. Our left back is defending the center of the pitch. So we get past, and now we have we still have numbers here, right? We have one, two, three, four players versus two, and Oliver's sort of covering the wide player. They don't have someone running down the wing. Um, our defensive mids are sort of thinking that look, with these numbers, we're likely going to be okay. They don't really engage. Mateo has a decision to make here, and the decision he makes right there, he decides to try to challenge the defender or the attacker, and just takes the wrong line. Here we want a delay. We're the last defender. So if you commit and don't win the ball, then we have a problem. And that ends up being exactly what happens. But you can just see that again. So here, another thing I would note, Asa is right there, right on top of this, but he actually doesn't try to get involved in this play. He's like, okay, well, this is the defensive line has this, and I'm not going to get involved. So he doesn't. He then is walking. He's not getting back on this. He's saying, well, they can deal with it. But you can see this moment where right there Mateo commits and he doesn't get the ball, and then it's a foot race, and that guy was really fast. And AJ is actually in the right spot here, so he's set up correctly, I'd say. and that shot just is hit hard and just goes right over him. So so what are the takeaways from this? Um, it's those moments where we're not paying attention, where we're not where we're supposed to be. If we look at our left back not uh, shutting down that right side of the field for them, enables them to retain possession. It is the pass that goes to no one, just kicked up the field. They get possession. It is dropping off of the striker and giving them a lot of space, as our back line did. It is defending too straight up and getting too close. It is committing when you're the last defender, as opposed to delaying the striker. And it is, not as strong hands as we want as a keeper. All of those things contributed to that goal. And this was just a few seconds into the game. It happened really, really fast. But that's how we got down 1-0 in 28 seconds. This is something that we talked about in practice, where we don't want to just make the pass. We actually need to like get them to commit to open up space. So this is just a little pass that goes out to Oliver. Oliver has this space. Um, he's not forcing them to make any sorts of decisions, and we just kick it forward, and it actually doesn't make it to Darshan. So that's, you know, drive the ball forward, do something, make them commit. That opens up the space. Um, if if Oliver drives in, they commit. Oliver has the foot to put that ball into Cabell, who's one on one. Like, this is the way we want to see the game. Okay, but um, but but trying to make this pass from here without taking a touch, we want you to take the touch, move it forward, get them to commit. That would open up the space either for Darshan or for Cabell. But the pass first mentality sometimes can lead to turnovers. All right, when we're building out of the back, this is how we looked one of the times we're building out of the back. There's lots of things that are not how we've talked about doing them here. So let's talk about a few of these things. First, center back and left back are where we talk about them being. My right back is off the line, further forward. It might have actually been more like here. My left defensive mid is in a really odd position. So this is actually where I'm looking for you to be, not here. And this is how we ended up looking. You can see the ball actually comes out. It comes out to the left back. The left back does turn and manages to find Adonai. So so now we have the ball here. If we're looking back, he's got one defender on him, and the striker has come in and is now moving this way. What I would draw your attention to is actually Asa in this position. First of all, Adonai shouldn't have been here. Adonai should have been back here. Asa should have been further over to the left. Cabell should have dropped in where he would have been available. So we're already like, we can't predict where your teammates are going to be as easily if we're not set up where we're expecting players to be. So Adonai gets the ball here, and he's now going to take the ball down the line. Asa should be moving into this space. What I'd want is him to move over here to be an option. We're looking for this ball. I think we try to find Cabell down the wing, but it takes us a little bit of time to get there. Now he's just in a one-on-one battle. We're not really helping here. I would want Jackson to go over to the line and be telling Adonai that he has an option back. I would want Ryan to be moving over to be in a position to cover if we lose the ball here. We don't want to have this lane of attack open. And Cabell is coming in, but the space is disappearing quickly. So if we, go forward, now he starts to make a run, but he's only got this pass that's like right down the line, and it's a little bit narrow. We're not giving an option here. We're not giving an option here. Um, Darshan could be checking in. Aisha should be checking over. Jackson should be running to the sideline. Ryan is also still back here off the screen, walking, not in a position to cover if there's a turnover here. So just a little bit more discipline and awareness will go a long way because we end up trying to get this ball and it just goes out. We have this ball. It comes back to Ryan, and Ryan is going to rocket this pass up to Cabell, finds him. Cabell does the juggling thing. And then we get down in this corner, and I think he's trying to put it back across. I hope this wasn't a shot here. But Asa and Adonai are not in a position to help at all. This is where we should have someone at the top of the 14. We have Oliver who's kind of snuck over there. Oliver probably should be a little bit wider. And we should have one of our midfielders here at the top of the 14. We don't have a lot of options here. This is probably the wrong one, regardless. Just like swinging a foot at it. I think this just hits him and goes out. I mean, we get a corner off of it, so that's great. But we weren't supporting him. We were watching him and hoping he did something, which sometimes he does. But that's a lot to ask. Nice little defensive moment from Jackson here. He's running, and this is something I've talked to Jackson about a few times. I'm saying, like, when you get the ball, don't slow down when you're getting the ball. He keeps going through his run and manages to win possession of the ball. That's exactly what I want him to do. I don't have a problem with putting it out right there. It gives us a chance to reset. But that was a good job from Jackson right there. This is some good defensive hustle from Ryan here. He doesn't give up on the play. He tracks back. He ends up just taking the ball off of him. So, I mean, he was a long way from the ball to begin with, but he got on his horse, got there, got possession of the ball. That's just good defensive hustle. This is us defending out of the back, but we're not paying attention. Asa is talking to people behind him. This player's like, hey, this guy's not paying attention. Still walking away, back to the ball, not paying attention. This is where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be paying attention to this right here. And it comes right to him. David is now running up, which is dangerous because we're going to leave this space empty, right? But it just was because, like, we shouldn't be back here when there's a space here with a player in it. So that's another moment of just us not paying as much attention as we should. Ball movement is key. Adonai picks up the ball. 2 touches, and a pass. And he plays Darshan through. I mean, that's so what we're looking to do right there. The thing I would say is this is a shot that's outside the box. It's 10 feet outside the box. You have all this space. Let's drive in there. Let's drive in. A fake shot might get this guy to do this jumping thing he's doing anyway. So let's drive in. Let's take a better shot. But that ball movement, that pass from Adonai, that's money. That's what we're looking for. And this is just a little bit later. Adonai picks up the ball. He's driving down the middle of the field. We have a ball into Darshan. We have a ball into Ryan. Both of those are good options. Oliver's a little bit behind the play. And this is where we're shooting from. We're shooting from, 40 feet outside the box. That's not a good shot. But again, a fake shot might have pulled this player in, and then you could have played Ryan in one-on-one with the keeper. So ball movement is good. Shots from however far this is out. We don't want to do that. Ball movement. Ryan picks it up, gets stepped on a little bit. Adonai picks up the ball and does not try to dribble everyone in sight. Sees he has Cabell wide open with no one to beat. Puts that ball right in front of Cabell, and that's an easy goal. That's what we're looking for. let's talk about this play right here. We were down 2-0 at this point, and they have, their striker on the ball. Was he offside? It was very, very close. If we don't have a perfect view here. Um, we're probably holding him onside. Um, but he gets the ball out in front. This is dream scenario. we have we have Ryan here getting ready to do something here. Um, he clips the player. Um, if this kid falls here, I think they call it. He doesn't fall. He stays on his feet. He tries to make something of the opportunity, um, and ends up getting it wrong, and it goes out of bounds. But so if you're the last defender, which Ryan is here, and there's a player who has possession of the ball, the direction is towards goal, and he has a high likelihood of getting a good shot, then this is something called denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity, or DOGSO. And this is a red card. So we got really lucky that he didn't go down, that he kept on trying to do something with the play. Otherwise, we would have been playing down a player. We would have been playing 8 versus 9, um, and we don't come back from that. We don't go on to win 5-3 if we are down a man and we're down 2 goals. So this was super dangerous, super, super dangerous. Uh, Not so much from a injuring the player standpoint. I don't think we're trying to do that here, but it's super dangerous for us being able to compete in this game. We lose our cool and we commit this foul, and this is a foul. This probably should have been called. This was a red card offense. So this is soccer. Isn't just a physical game; it's a mental game too. If we lose our cool in a situation like this, we go down a player, and this game changes completely. Um, that isn't what happened. It's a game of luck also, right? And we got lucky that we didn't get that called, and then we went on in the second half to do these just amazing things and win the game 5-3. Um, this video is already like 17 minutes, almost 18 minutes, so I'm going to stop there. But there's always room to improve. There's always something that we can learn from, that we can grow. And so I hope you got some of the points that I was making in this video. And yeah, we'll see you out on the pitch.